I'm excited to share with you the power of micronutrients in food. Food is something very basic that we take every day, and we need to really learn about these things. This disclaimer is very important also. Okay, before we go into the micronutrients, let us understand what is going on global level about obesity. See, this is the globe, and we see we are in the Gulf countries. So Gulf countries are having the maximum level of obesity going on. America, but Gulf countries, the rest are okay. Diabetes. In diabetes, we are the master. See, we have left behind Europe, America, Brazil, and the whole Middle Eastern region is on the top of the list. Why it is going on like this? There are so many things we can do medicinally, but we have to see the basics. What is happening with us? Most of it, you see, has changed in the last 40, 50 years. And there has to be a reason if we, just sit down and relax and see what's going on. We eat 3 times, 4 times a day. The sugar level, the consumption of sugar has changed dramatically. It has increased to 10, 15, 20 times in some part of the world, and we are one of those. The oil level, the fats that we consume every day, has doubled up in the last 30 years. On an average, from the data collected from United States, they were consuming 40 pounds per year. Now they are consuming, on an average, 80 pounds. We are not, we are on the same page. Actually, we are a little faster than USA these days when it comes to eating. And even the salt consumption has increased way too much. It is more than 8 to 10 times. The basic requirement for sodium is 180 milligram to 500 milligram. Now we are consuming about 3000 milligram a day. So all these things collectively, they are causing a lot of health issues, primarily weight gain. So now, why it is happening? There has to be some reason why we are jumping on food, why we are eating that so much food. It is about the availability of food also. People, try to lose weight, and then they are not able to lose weight, and then they start blaming themselves. So let's look at what is happening, why we are not able to reach where we want to reach. Even the calorie consumption, the total amount, 30 years before, from the United States point of view, on an average they were consuming 2000 calories. Now they are taking 2500 calories. And in UAE, we are consuming 3,000 calories. We are on the top of the list of the world. On an average, we are consuming 3,000 calories. If we take 500 calories extra, 30 years, 40 years before, 2,000 calories on an average. Now in USA, 2,500 calories on an average per day. 500 calories per day means in 10 days, 5,000 calories. In 1 month, 15,000 calories. 7,000 calories make 1 kilogram of body weight. It adds to your body. So per month, we are adding to our body 2 kilo. In 1 year, 24 kilo. In 2 years, 48 kilo. So in 2 years, a person would be really in different shape. And we are eating right now 3,000 calories per day. It's too much. Even the kids here, in the UAE particularly, there was data collected by the Department of Cardiology in Ras Al Khaimah Hospital, I think Saif Al-Wabash, his name. They did a survey and they found that the overweight kids in UAE are 1.8 times more than United States. So we are like double the rate right now. And we have 70% overweight obese population in UAE. And we have the highest rate of deaths due to cardiac events. The rate goes to 38% right now. So there's something is going on, and we have to really pay attention to this. It is the need of the time. There are so many things medically we can do, but unless we look at the core of the problem, we can never reach to the solution. We can build big hospitals, that's good, but these are for treatment. They are not to prevent the person from getting into that level. So the power of micronutrients, basic is the food has two main components: macronutrients and micronutrients. Macronutrients means fats, carbohydrates, and protein. Micronutrients means vitamins, minerals, and phytochemicals. Macronutrients make the bulk of the body, make the frame, the weight of the body. And micronutrients, they are responsible for healing of the body. They are responsible for detoxification of the body. They are responsible for the repairment of the damaged tissues in the body. Now we see our food. We are macronutrient-based food eaters. The whole food that we see, we are eating, the typical, if we talk about the local food, is in the morning maybe cheese and omelets and 2 kadak chai. And then in lunchtime, we're having mandi or biryani, or it's saruna, with maybe fish or chicken or meat. And at night, maybe some cheese sandwich or pizza, we like to go outside. This is typical local. Now, other communities, we have different style of food, but we are having almost same calories intake. The Indians are eating, other food, nihari, maybe paya, or they have paratha, samoon, so many things, but same thing. So we are getting the dense calories and we are not getting micronutrients in the food. So basically what is happening, that because these macronutrients are calorie containing food, so we are just getting weight. We are getting bigger and bigger, and because we are not getting the micronutrients, so the healing process of the body is really gone down. So we are having chronic diseases, we are having heart diseases, we are having diabetes, we are having arthritis, because healing is very little. Because for healing we need micronutrients from the food. Dr. Fuhrman, one of my favorites doctor, he came out with a list of food and he classified these food in a way that he put on top the food items which have highest amount of micronutrients and least amount of calories. So he called this ND, the aggregate nutrients density index. So if we see from nutrition point of view, the nutrients, and when we say nutrients, it's not just vitamins and minerals, but there are hundreds, maybe thousands of phytochemicals in the food. Vitamins and minerals, they are just a part of the whole healing phenomenon. It's not everything. In 1930, vitamins and minerals were discovered, and it was a big thing that vitamins and minerals are to prevent from the diseases. So people were into this, and it was a good business. And by 1935, it was a $1 billion industry, and a lot of supplements with vitamins, and they started putting vitamins in every food, in milk, in juices, in even Coke, it's everywhere. But it didn't help. After that, for 70 years, continuously, cancer rate went up. So vitamins and minerals is not the main thing. Just 20 years before, when the nutrient researchers, they worked on it, they found that in the intact food, there are hundreds, maybe thousands of phytochemicals hidden which prevent diseases, which have got healing properties. Dr. Dean Ornish, he worked on it, Dr. Fuhrman did, Dr. Neil Barnard, Dr. Campbell, so many doctors, 20 or 30 years before they started working, they found. So what that means is, in strawberry, there are not just 15 vitamins and minerals, there are 700 micronutrients. Even in dates, 6 vitamins, 15 minerals, 8 essential fatty acids, good quality of proteins. Even in the seed, there is oleic acid and allylic acid, and But there are phytochemicals, the list is going on, they are researching, there are 15 they have found, but because on date they don't have yet in the researches that they should have been done. But I believe there should be hundreds in the dates as well. So in the whole food you cannot even get everything in the supplement. So you need to get the food, the real food, to be able to get the level of micronutrients which are necessary to prevent you from diseases. Now in this list, if we see on the highest ranking is the kale, the collard, the kale is the green leaf. All the green leaves, they have highest amount of nutrient per calorie. So less calorie and more nutrients. Spinach is easily available, Berkshire collard. But you find you go to Carrefour, you go to Union Co-op, you go to Spinach, you get all these things. So if you ever want go to the grocery store, just grab all the greens, they are highest nutrients. And see the cola. It is just one index. Now there are so many researchers, and they have their own researches and so many programs, diet program, healthy program. Some are just vegetarian, some are just meatarian, some are just healthitarian, some are nutritarian. So some are saying take vegetables only, meat is not good for you. And some just say, take high protein diet like Atkins, be on the, from morning to evening, keep on eating. And some say low fat diet, some say high fat diet. There are so many diets. Some say just keep on eating. Every hour you can eat, to stimulate your metabolism. And I wanted to see the practical thing. Maybe I'm wrong, but I've tried to understand this, that one program one-sided program may not work. So I came up with the term, I coined this term vegetarian. And vegetarian means V is from vegetable source and A is from animal source. So a collection of this, like pooling both, but 90% we take from vegetable source, plant source, we take 10% from animal source. And this vegetarian person is a person who prefers food that is unprocessed. This is a condition. So we might be eating vegetables, but we are eating processed. It will not help us. For example, in India, just now we saw the map from the diabetes point of view. They are same as United States. The United States is a meat-eating country, but India is not a meat-eating country. But still, diabetic rate are comparable. So they are eating vegetables, but the thing is, they are eating vegetables. That doesn't help only. It has to be unprocessed. It has to be unrefined. In India, the trend is to eat more fried. Even the vegetables they are fried, and they have a lot of paratha. So a lot of puri, kachori, and halwa. So that is not helping them. So they are eating vegetarian, but it's not enough. Now, people on Atkins diet, for example, they are eating just mostly chicken throughout the day because it's a protein-based food, and it is not good also because we know the disadvantage of taking high amount of protein. It causes fuzziness and fluffiness in the brain. And if someone has cirrhosis of liver, it cannot process the protein. So what do you suggest? We suggest to just cut down the protein intake. Otherwise, they can even go into seizure. So extra amount of protein is not good. It's a burden on the kidney. It makes you make a lot of nitrogenous products, and your liver has to process it, and then your kidney has to process it, and then you just process it out through the urine. So even this is not the solution. So now another thing, why then I included also animal? Is it important? Cannot be just vegetarian only? Few reasons. One is, it is not practical in most part of the world. The second thing is, it is not healthy. We need some good quality protein, because from animal source, this is the only source which has complete chain of amino acids. There is no plant source which can give you the complete chain of amino acids. If you want complete chain, you will have to pull up. You will have to mix like few beans together to get the level of the good amount of protein. It's not there, and it's not easy. So the other thing is, this meat has been the culprit for so many years from some people's point of view, that it is causing heart diseases, it is causing all the chronic diseases. Meat is not. It is actually the way that we are taking it. You know, if we see Eskimos, they are the highest meat eaters in the world. Their 80%, 90% food is just meat, and they have the least rate of heart diseases in the world. They are the meat eaters. So it means one thing is clear: meat is not the issue. But the thing is, the difference is, I cannot say that we should be eating 80% of meat. I wrote here 10%. The reason here is, we cannot be Eskimos. We are not living in the snow region. So it's winter and a lot of cold. You need more amount of protein there. The other thing is that they are eating mostly fish. And the other reason is that they are eating wild fish. Even if we happen to start eating fish from the Gulf Sea, then they are in trouble. Because the Gulf fish has highest amount of toxic waste. Mercury, 80,000 tons of mercury is dumped into the sea every year. And mostly where the drilling of the petrol takes place, mostly around this. So our fish is full of toxicity, lot of mercury. Even one serving of fish can give you like 10 times the safe level of mercury. So it is not recommended. You can take because it has a lot of good things to offer, but you cannot overdo this thing because it is coming with the other side also. So, but Eskimos, they are taking wild fish, So they can do this, but we cannot do this thing. The other thing is, because Eskimos, they don't have the opportunity, which is actually good for them, to have the food, like processed food, which is easily available here. We are taking around from morning to night, we end with some ice cream. Eskimos don't have these things. When you have a lot of things, like calorie-wise, you increase the intake of food, you are taking a lot of foods, then it causes, it doubles up the problem. But because they are limited to what they are eating, they are safe. Another reason is because their omega-3 level is much higher. Actually, they have the omega-3 level which is optimal, and no other community in the world has that. The ratio of omega-6 on omega-3 should be 1 to 1. This may be the maximum 4 to 1. So omega-6 may be 4 or 1 omega-3. But optimal is 1 to 1. No one has in the world except Eskimo. And this is one of the things that they are not having coronary artery diseases. Omega-3 helps to lower the triglycerides, increase the good cholesterol HDL, and lowers the LDL. And it is anti-inflammatory. This omega-3 the molecule, which is the most important molecule in omega-3, is the EPA. That promotes the prostaglandin 3 production, which is anti-inflammatory. But omega-6 promotes the prostaglandin 2, which is an inflammatory. And the level of omega-6 that we are taking every day is 20 to 1. And it should be 1 to 1, maximum 4 to 1. But we are taking 20 to 1. This is on an average we are consuming. So we have high inflammation going on. We have high inflammatory diseases. And if we say all diseases, chronic diseases particularly, including obesity, and including heart diseases, including diabetes, including arthritis, asthma, they are because of inflammation. And in the communities which are big fan of fast food, the level goes up to 50 to 1. So higher rates. And where this omega 6 comes mostly, it comes from the oil that we consume. Everything is from oil. You go to fast food at home. Sometimes you see, I go to my relatives, who like to go in the kitchen when they are making food. They just close their eye and they put oil. A lot of oil. And this oil, all oil basically are fat producing. They make you gain weight. Even olive oil. It's a respected oil. It has a lot of benefits, but it has a limitation how much you can take it. Sometimes I talk about this thing to my patients. They say, no, Rasulullah doesn't like this full of barakah. Or I said, how much Rasulullah doesn't took it? Not like this as much you are taking. So respect it and take it in the quantity it should be taken. Then it helps you. 1 tablespoon of any oil gives you 120 calories. Doesn't matter which one are you taking. You're taking canola, you're taking sunflower, you're taking olive oil, any oil for that matter. So we have to restrict the amount of oil. And the other one, even if you cook your food, you hydrogenate even olive oil, so it becomes bad. You're frying it. So this is really important. So I just came up with the idea that we cannot be vegetarian 100% and we cannot do meatarian 100%. We'll have to live in igloo. So I just came up with this vegetarian style of food. But there are other conditions also, that the food has to be unprocessed, which means even if you are taking, for example, fish, you're not going to fry it, otherwise it's not good for you. So even your vegetable you are taking, you cannot take it fried. Most of the vegetables we eat right now, first of all, we are eating right now very little amount of vegetables. We are just taking 10% food from the plant source. We are taking 25 from meat. We are taking 65 from the refined. So you cannot fry, even if it is vegetarian. Chips is vegetarian. Noodles is vegetarian. Pasta is vegetarian. Pepsi is vegetarian. French fries is vegetarian. So it cannot be so it has to be a good combination, a practical combination, but unprocessed and unrefined. If you're refined, you're just taking out the good part, in the husk. It's very little amount, but it has the most important thing for you. If you just remove the husk, you're removing 86% of the selenium and zinc, and you're removing almost 90% chromium picolinate. And chromium picolinate is the one which maintains your body weight. So just taking a little bit of, making it refined, you are creating a problem. Most of our food, burgers, samoon, they're eating bread, and even the patan roti here, all are from refined flour. So unprocessed, unrefined, mainly plant-based. Now this 9:1 ratio, this is a therapeutic dosage. If someone is already having some heart condition, diabetes, Alzheimer's or arthritis, I put them on this program and it really works. Once they are there where they should be healthy, then they can take 8:2 ratio, but not more than that. Meat, any meat, has a lot of fats in it. So beef is lean beef has 29% of fat in it. Lean. The regular is 40%. Even the chicken, the lean chicken without the skin, has 23% fats in it. So we don't want to overdo. Now another health education to understand that health is directly proportional to the amount of micronutrients you take over macronutrients. So basically you have to lower the calorie intake and you have to increase the micronutrient load in the food. I'm not really concerned too much about the calories. We have plenty of calories already. We have like stored fat that can continue for long times. So you shouldn't be worried about it. People that talk like you should be taking 3,000 calories, 2,000 calories, doesn't make any sense to me. We limit our calories, like maybe 15 to 20 calories per day, per body kilogram body weight, is enough to maintain it. So in vegetarian food list, I made this to remember, like GB forms. So G for greens, and B for beans, F for fruits, O for onions and garlic and ginger, A for animal products, 2 to 4 servings per week, and mushrooms and seeds and nuts. This is a complete program. It gives you what you need for the day, and it has all micronutrients, full of micronutrients. It's based on micronutrients. Now another thing, animal products. Why I had to add it? Have more reasons. B12 vitamin. You don't get B12 vitamin from any source, from any plant source. It doesn't exist. So where are you getting, where you will be getting B12 from if you are vegetarian?
Eggs.
Eggs is not vegetarian.
Well, if you said if you're not.
You have to be meat eater to get B12. If you are vegetarian, you cannot get B12. So you have to eat. There is no source. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to keep on eating meat. If you eat meat, for example, you take, goat liver once a week, you get like 10 times more vitamin B12 that you need. So if just once a week is enough. But if you want to take liver, many people may not like liver, you can take 2 or 3 servings of meat and you're all set. Because vitamin B12 can be stored in the body. The requirement for the vitamin B12 is just 2.4 microgram. And beef and sheep, lamb, they have like 10 times more micro. Now another thing, now you can say I can buy a supplement of B12. Well, first of all, this looks not something natural because vitamin B12 is invented recently. What the people were doing before. So it against the nature. The other thing is we can take, but B12 vitamin is not biocompatible. You need to take huge amount of it to be able to absorb. You need a robust system. You need to have the full functioning gastric-intestinal factor, and so many other synergistic components are there. If you take it from meat source, and there are so many other components together, it comes in a packed form, so it is bioavailable. You absorb it, you utilize it in the best manner. But from outside you don't. And you cannot get vitamin D3 also. Vitamin D3, even if you buy from outside, vitamin D3 is just from animal source. It does not come from the plant source. It's from the sheep wool. You can get vitamin D2, but it is very short acting and it doesn't work as good as vitamin D3. Now the greens, they are the most important thing, and your daily menu has to have a lot of greens. You can have a lot of kale, collard, bok choy, Chinese bok choy, spinach, mustard greens, you can have jersey, arugula. All these greens, they have a lot of enzymes in them. They have a lot of micronutrients. They're full. Beans, they give you good protein. The other thing is, but it's not a complete set of protein, so 3-4 times a day you still need to back it up from the meat source. But the good thing about beans is because you cannot take meat every day, otherwise you will add to the calories. The beans, they have a lot of fiber in them, and they have a lot of resistant starch in them, which means if you read the can of the beans, it would say maybe 120 calories. But as a matter of fact, it's just 60 calories, because half of them are resistant to starch. Your body does not absorb it. And then when you go down in lower end of the colon, the intestine, the ileocecal joint, then it comes in contact with the friendly bacteria, and that feeds the friendly bacteria, so you make more friendly bacteria. And then these friendly bacteria in turn activate, there's one enzyme in the greens called myrosinase enzyme. Myrosinase enzyme is very important to convert glucothioscinate into isothioscinate, which is present in the vegetable. When we chew vegetables, this myrosinase enzyme comes out because it is packed inside the cell. When we chew, it comes out. Only in presence of this thing, glucothioscinate converts into isothiocyanates, and isothiocyanates is a strong anti-cancer agent. So to get activated, we need 2 things. We need to chew it, or maybe we can blend it, something, but chewing is better. And then we need to have enough friendly bacteria. So beans help the greens. The fruits you can have few servings, we don't have time for. Onions, garlic, and ginger. Lot of onions, garlic help. And mushroom, but better to boil onions, better to boil garlic. They are corrosive. Put them on the hand, it causes blister. So you don't have any nervous system going on in the gastric bowel, so you don't feel it. If some food is hot, you cannot hold it, but you can put it inside. Likewise, you don't see those lesions microscopic level they make. So better to boil them. And even mushroom should be always boiled because they have some toxins. But if you eat a lot of these things, they are highly protective. According to one study, mushrooms, people who take mushrooms frequently, they have 63% less chances of having breast cancer. Another research, if you take mushroom with green tea without sugar, then you have 89% less chances of having all kinds of cancer. If there was any medicine which would reduce this by 10%, 15%, it would have been on the front page of the New York Times. But you will never see it anywhere, but this works. Seeds and nuts. Now seeds and nuts, they give you fats also, but they have much lower fats than the oils that we take. The second thing is complex fats. When you take oil, directly they are the part of your body. But when you take this thing, your body has to process it, digest it, and utilize it. It takes time. But you need a little bit of seeds and nuts because you need good fats, essential fatty acids. But the body does not make essential fatty acids. You need to take it from outside. The other thing is, I like to combo taking greens with the seeds, like you can have cashew nuts or almonds or walnuts in your salad. It helps the absorption of many micronutrients, particularly lutein. Lutein is in broccoli and all the green. The people who take a lot of lutein, there was a study that their arteries were as good as of 20 years, and they were 60 years through, just taking luteins. And it is there, it's part of the carotenoid family. Beta-carotene from the carrots, lutein from the greens, broccoli, and kale and collard. So this is my food pyramid that I came up with. So there's everything, but going from bottom to up should be the intake of the food. So in the bottom, see all the greens, we can take a lot of them, almost no limit to how much we can take. And then the vegetables and then some fruits. So starting from the fruits which has lower glycemic index and less amount of sugar, and then going up. And then you can have beans, you can have other fruits, and you can have nuts, you can even have dates, you can have some fish and dairy and olive oil, and you can also take some honey. It's like a complete food pyramid, but we have to go from bottom, focus mostly on the bottom, and then go up a little bit, like gradually. We need to fill our stomach. These things, they fill our stomach and they get less amount of calories. So you don't gain weight. I have people coming to me in my clinic and they have high blood pressure, they have high triglyceride, they have high LDL and low HDL, and I put them on this program. Many of them, within 1 month, they cut down their dosage. For example, diabetic people to half. They don't need it because they're not taking calories. So why the blood sugar will go up? What is it? It's very logical. And after 3 months, it's unbelievable. Many people who were diabetic for years, they were off the medication. I didn't ask them. They were in close contact with their doctor, be in touch with it. Now doctors told them not to take it because they didn't need it. Many people, they just, their cholesterol level becomes better, the LDL level comes down, triglycerides come down, HDL improves, just on this program. And in addition, they lose weight. They don't come for losing weight maybe, they come for health. So this food basically is for health, it's not for losing weight. Losing weight is like a side effect of this program. So daily how much you might be eating? Large bowl of salad, bowl of cooked vegetable, 1 cup of boiled beans. In the beginning you may have some gas with the beans because we don't have enough friendly bacteria in the beginning, but once we start taking beans, our body makes enough good bacteria and we are all set. Fruits 2 to 3 servings and about 30 grams of seeds and nuts and 2 to 4 servings of animal products. Now very important thing is eat only when hungry. Now I'd just like to tell you something very important. There is a lot to go, but okay, just 2 minutes and we are finished. Now something, all of us are just fighting with the food. We are not able to continue with the diet programs. We are not able to lose it. And there is some scientific reason why it is happening. We have anabolic phase and catabolic phase. So anabolic phase when we eat, which means we save the calories, and catabolic phase when we burn, you put the gas in the car. Anabolic phase when you run the car, it's catabolic phase. When we are in anabolic phase, which means we are eating, we are just calories. So we are gaining, we are storing. And when we go into catabolic phase, when we are not eating, we are healing. Our body is healing, repairing, detoxifying itself. What is happening right now? We are eating, and then after some time we are again eating. Why? See, our food is highly processed food. It does not have micronutrients in it. So what is happening? Because of highly toxic food, when we stop eating food, it goes into saving mode. In digestion takes like 2.5 hours to 3 hours. And then once it comes into catabolic phase, it starts detoxifying particularly the ill effects of the food that we take. We take a lot of AGEs, advanced glycation end products, roasting, frying, makes a lot of AGEs, like acrylamide, toxins from food. Now, because this will a lot of toxin, our body goes into detoxification phase. Whenever we are detoxifying, we don't feel, Herxheimer's reaction. We feel itchy, we feel irritable, we feel moody, we feel headachy. So what our body gives a signal, okay, go and eat again. Why? To avoid this detoxification phase, because I'm not feeling good. So I will go back again. It's like subconsciously, I'll go back and eating. So this is what is happening. Another thing what is happening is, because our food does not have micronutrients and our body needs micronutrients, so what happens after taking this, our body gives signal again for a certain reason, come on, eat again, because it expects that this time the person will eat some micronutrients. I'm breathing 14, 15 times per minute. But if you ask me to breathe just 10 times per minute, what will happen? I will be gasping for air, because my body will be giving signals that you need to gasp, breathing faster and harder, because you need more oxygen, you are missing it. Likewise, if we are not taking micronutrients enough, our body will give a signal to eat again and again. So we will keep on eating and we will not heal. We will have more diseases and we will have more weight. So this is what is happening. Now to break this chain, what we need to do, we have to have enough amount of micronutrients. We have to take unprocessed food, so we have least amount of toxins. Because already we have predisposed free radicals in the body. So if we take a lot of micronutrients, the body will be taken care of the big micronutrients. So we will reverse the condition. Right now there's no point of reversing. We are just getting more and more. I think my time is limited. Thank you very much.